How's it going, everyone? So in this video I want to talk about why I think Halo Infinite, aka Halo 6, isn't going to suck. And there's going to be a lot of reasons why. Let's just start with a couple. Well, first off, Halo 6 has a brand new engine. They are not using the Havoc engine, which is an ancient engine that they've used across all Halo titles, I believe. It is a brand new, built from the ground up engine called Slipspace. Yes, I believe it's called Slipspace. It's something that the developers have been asking for, and they finally got it. So, now, what does this do for them? This allows them to have way better mechanics, better visuals, something that's actually modern, which is a good thing. That just puts more tools in the developers' hands so they can go out and then just make us a better game, which is great. As you can see, I have the trailer playing in the background. If you have a 4K monitor, 4K TV, you can see how it looks in 4K. It just looks wonderful. And of course, this is just pre-rendered video. I don't think it's live rendering. But anyways, it goes. Any modern game nowadays is going to look wonderful. So moving on, if you take a look at the Master Chief Collections and what a disaster it was releasing on Xbox. It totally sucked. It was like a year before you're even able to play it, which just blew. But if you take a look at how they're treating it, bringing it over to PC, they have multiple game studios that are supposedly experts at bringing games over to PC because they're I don't know how you would say. I guess they're confident and experienced. They're well experienced on the PC platform. I believe Splash Damage is one of them, and another gaming studio that I don't remember the name of. But anyways, they're also taking their sweet time with bringing this game over. In fact, they were planning on bringing the Master Chief Collections over to PC. That was planned back in 2014. So it took them this long to actually finally get the ball rolling. And I totally understand that most of their time was because they had to fix the first release of the Master Chief Collection on the console, which is why it took so long. But still, they're taking their time, which is good. And people are commenting left and right saying, when is Reach going to come out on PC? And their response is the same. It's, game engine demonstration, as you can see at the bottom there. So yeah, it is. Anyways, ADD over here. Yes, they said the game comes out when it's ready, is what they've always said, which is good. That means they're not just going to push it and throw it out at us because we want it. They're actually going to wait until the game is finished and touched up and polished. It's going to be unlocked frame rates, going to have FOV sliders. It's a full PC game. It's not just a crappy port like we're used to getting. No, it's going to be a full PC game. So that shows that they understand that they fucked up with the originals coming to Xbox One, and they're going to take their time. Anyway, so moving forward, I think a big criticism that Halo 4 and Halo 5 had was the different in visuals when it came to artwork with armor on the Covenant, on your enemies, and on Master Chief. It was too different. It wasn't nostalgic enough. It just kind of felt like you're fighting a different enemy. So I'm going to snap over to a different image right here and kind of go over that. Alright, and on this image, you can see here, this is the Halo 3 Mark 6 armor, I believe it is. Yeah, it's Mark 6. And if you take a look at the helmet here, you can point out a couple of things. So if you look at the jaw, the bottom jaw, it sort of has like this vertical rectangular structure. The cheeks have these, what looks to be like oxygen tubes or like hoses on the sides. You can take a look at the visor with the gap in the middle, and they have 4 lights, 2 on each cheek. Now, if you switch over to the trailer right here with Master Chief, this is his helmet. As you can see, it is pretty much identical to Mark 6. Of course, this is going to be an updated version with more textures. It's not going to be exactly the same. That's just kind of how things are. But you could tell you've got the hoses on the sides. You have that square jaw. The visor's the same. Even the reflector in the center, which would be his, what would you even call that? I'm brain farting right now. Anyways, it's just, if you switch back over, you can tell it's the same helmet. And if you take a look at his thigh over in that image, it also resembles the Mark 6 armor, which was different from what he was rocking in Halo 4 and Halo 5. So it's obviously Mark 6 armor, which means that they took that criticism to heart. The people don't like the new artwork of the Covenant and the armor the Master Chief was in. Of course, there's a lore behind it, with Cortana changing the Master Chief's armor while he was in cryosleep. I totally understand that, but the lore is kind of irrelevant because it's what people didn't like it. They didn't like the change of it at all. So as you can see, he's going back to the Mark 6 armor, which kind of, with me, that kind of resonates with. They're going back to their roots. They're kind of, I have a feeling that because he's going back to his older armor back in Halo 2 and Halo 3, that Halo 6 is going to be a bit more closer to the original Halos than it is towards Halo 4 and Halo 5. Of course, that's kind of a stretch, just like a theory to me, but because the game has taken so long to come out, versus like a Battlefield game or like a Call of Duty game where they're popping them out like pretty much every year or almost every year. This game has had such a large gap. Granted, the studio has had a lot of things to work on since Halo 5, but needless to say, it has been a long time since that game has come out. So I think they are. I think they have. I think it's been enough time since Halo 5, and because they've released the originals on Xbox One and they're going to release them on PC, that this is going to be enough gap and enough re-immersion rather into the originals that they could make that big change where they're going to be taking things out like armor abilities and pop, maybe sprint. I'd like them to take out sprint and some of the other stuff that they added to the game that, you know, popular opinion says that they don't like. That it's not going to be too radical of a change too quick, where it's going to feel weird going from a Halo 5 game with this advanced movement with armor abilities and jetpacking and being able to quickly jolt to the left or right, pretty much at will almost. Going back to a full boots on the ground Master Chief without any of that. I think enough time has passed where they can pull that off and it not be weird. And him having the Mark 6 armor back is sort of going to reinforce that idea. And again, this could be totally wrong. It could come out and Halo 6 could suck. It could be just like Halo 5 but worse. But I like to think that it isn't, with these little pointers and hints here and there. Him going back to his original armor, them taking a lot of time working on the Master Chief collections on PC, and the long gap we've had since Halo 5 to Halo Infinite. I think if you take all that into consideration, that there's a good possibility that they're going to go back to their roots and give us a Halo game that is similar to the originals and not similar to the ones that we've been getting recently. So there's a possibility that it may not suck. And not to mention, I forgot to add, it has a brand new engine, so they can add a lot more to the game as far as visuals and mechanics and just make it honestly, take a step back from Halo 5. Granted, no one liked it, but if you take a look at it visually and what was able to happen during the game, it's a pretty game. I mean, you can't say it isn't. You can hate the gameplay, you can hate the story, you can hate all those things, but it's a pretty game. You can't deny it. It's a pretty game. It looks good. It looks good on Xbox. Looks good on Xbox X. It's a good looking game. And Halo 6 is only going to look even better, which is great. So with all that being said, it is a possibility that it's not going to suck. But we won't know. We're probably going to get an actual gameplay trailer E3 2019, and it's probably going to release in 2020. My guess is that it's going to ship with next-gen Xbox, because that is set to release in 2020, probably in November, maybe. That's when it usually releases, or at least that's when the Xbox One released. So it's probably going to launch the same day the next-gen Xbox is going to launch, because why would they release Halo 6 on Xbox One and then literally within a matter of months next generation console is going to come out, and then what are they going to do? They can make it backwards compatible, sure, but then there's going to be people who are going to want to play the game right when it comes out, and the die-hard fans are going to get the next generation Xbox, and they're going to have to either rebuy Halo 6 if it's not immediately backwards compatible, and it just doesn't make any sense. It would only make sense that it would release on next gen. And from a business perspective, it would also incentivize people to go out and buy the next generation Xbox. But that's just my speculation. It could be wrong again. It could come out this year. I don't know. I highly doubt it. But that's just my guess. So, of course, like I said before, I'm just repeating myself at this point, it could totally suck, it could flop, it could be the worst. All those things are possible, but given everything that I've said, it's likely that it could be good, that it could be what we want. The worst thing you can do is shit on the game and hate on it before you've even seen a gameplay trailer. I mean, yes, we've seen a trailer, but that doesn't really mean anything. That tells us basically nothing about the game. Until you've actually seen a gameplay trailer and actually have some solid details and evidence about the game, if you're just going to shit on it, then you're not really helping anyone else out. You need to be honest with your critiques, and from what I have seen and what I'm looking at how the studio is operating currently, they're showing signs that they're taking it seriously, which is a good thing. But anyways, unscripted video, so lots of pauses and stutters here and there. Apologize for that. I just don't really have time to write a script anymore. But comment and let me know what you guys think at the bottom. If you think Halo is going to suck ass and it's a dead franchise, don't just comment that. Explain why you feel that way. And if you agree with what I'm saying, you think that there's a possibility that the game could be really good, comment and explain why. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next one.